So hello students. So we now start with the another unit which is very important for your midterm examination. Number one, this unit's name is quantum mechanics, and to get rid of the limit of time, actually we have the midterm examination on 23rd. So I'll directly go to the book line by line, or maybe some derivation type of thing, which I hope that these kind of books are available with you right now in the duration of lockdown. So from the book, I think it will be better to get all the idea and all the derivations with you. So I'll go from the books directly without having any of the PPT. I hope this these kind of lectures will benefit you. So I divide my these kind of lectures in 10 or maybe 15 minutes duration. So let us start with this unit of quantum mechanics. So the quantum mechanics, the basics of quantum mechanics is to be understood first, actually. So quantum mechanics is born when the classical mechanics, the initial mechanics which you know, the Newton's law, etc. All these laws were actually made up to this nine. They were useful. They were still useful, but there are some other experiments in the 19th, 20th century starting. So in these experiments, there were some of the classical models which were not useful, or they are not able to explain some of the phenomena, some of the new experiment, for example, photoelectric effect, Compton effect, pair production, black body radiation, etc. So some of the these all these phenomena are explained with the use of this quantum mechanics. So which is started actually in 1900 or maybe 1905, you can say especially. So we start the basics of quantum mechanics from where it arises. So this was introduced actually in Max Planck in the 1900 to explain black body radiation. So just to have a quick view, what is the black body radiation, etc. So we know that the black body is a body in which you can illuminate it, that is completely black. So this is a hollow object with a small hole, and it's like a black body. It means no light will be reflect from this particular body. So once the radiation pattern of this black body has been taken, then the thermal spectrum of this black body radiation was found in this way. If we are targeting the wavelength, so if we increase the temperature T1 greater than T2, then there is a wavelength shift from lesser side. It means the wavelength shift is towards the lower side. In terms of frequency, the frequency shift is towards the higher side if the temperature is more. This kind of shift in the wavelength or in that frequency pattern could not be explained by Rayleigh-Jeans method, which was there, Wien's formula, etc. So ultimately, these all phenomena, these all laws which were in the classical mechanics was failed to explain these kind of shifts completely, and hence this is actually laid by the quantum mechanics. So quantum mechanics, or the Planck's quantum theory, was able to explain this black body radiation. What is Planck quantum theory? We all know this the quanta name, equal to h nu. N h nu is the n is a number of quantas there. It may be integer. So energy is transformed in form of quanta. So this is discretized energy. And on the basis of this discretization of the energy, Max Planck in 1901 concluded that this black body radiation is because of the certain energy unit h nu. And that's why the Max Planck derived this particular equation to satisfy the energy distribution or the heat radiation, and deduce this formula. This is Planck radiation formula, and it was able to solve the problem of this shift, the spectral density of black body completely. Hence, this was the origin that the Planck has given for the quantum mechanics. So we can say that these are the main. This is the main one. However, later on, photoelectric effect was introduced. There also Einstein proposed in 1905 a very famous paper. Einstein used this Planck's quantum theory and easily able to explain the phenomena of photoelectric effect, which you are familiar in the from the 12th class. Ultimately, these all variety of experiments. Compton effect is one of the more phenomena or the experiment which is going to explain by quantum mechanics. So ultimately, these all experiments has introduced the failure of classical theory, and they are the original of introduction of the quantum mechanics. We now follow that the next one is the matter wave. So let me tell you that what is the matter wave actually. So now turn back to this point that Planck's quantum theory of radiation was okay from form of quantum theory, but still we know interference, diffraction phenomena. Okay, these phenomena were easily explainable if we are targeting the wave nature. So two kind of natures are there. You can send the energy in form of wave. You can send energy in form of quanta. So two kind of waves are there. So what has been think later on that in the middle of 19th century, it is clear to the physicist that physical universe is made up of a two great entities, energy and the matter. So what they have suggested that in form of if there is any matter, if there is any particle, then definitely there must be the wave associated with it. So this kind of nature, for example, for the example of light, light we know it is form of wave. However, some of the experiment has been explained by taking light in form of quanta. So that's why we said this light hedge is two nature. One is the wave nature by which we have explained interference, diffraction, polarization, etc., which we have studied already. And now the photoelectric effect, black body radiation, etc., are able to explain on the basis of uh, this quanta nature or the particle nature. So ultimately, the basic aim is that a light has having dual nature. In a similar way, the physicists have suggested that all the matter in the universe can have the matter. Matter means the particle and also the wave associated with it. So that kind of explanation is actually named as matter wave. The particle having wave associated with it is the matter wave. On this basis, de Broglie has suggested something. We know this particular formula E equal to h nu, number one. Then we know this formula E equal to mc square. So these two formula are very simple. This m is the mass. So this E equal to mc square is for a mass body, is for a particle. E equal to h nu is for a wave. And once you equal this thing, h nu equal to mc square, you can do it because this is for the wave nature, this is for the particle nature. And if you just use these two equations, so you get h nu equal to mc square. This mc will give you h nu by c, and p equal to mc, that is the momentum. So you can say momentum is equal to mc. Since c upon nu, this you can take c upon nu from here, it will be actually lambda. So c upon nu will be lambda. So p means momentum of a particle, which is equal to mc, which is equal to h by lambda. So from this formula, you can calculate lambda equal to h upon p. And this is the formula of a wave for the wavelength. But p is the momentum of a particle. So this equation is very famous, the equation from de Broglie wavelength. And this particular equation will provide you, if you know the momentum of the particle, if you know momentum, then you can calculate the wavelength of the matter wave associated with this particle. This is a very important formula. So de Broglie suggested that this same relationship connects the particle like the wave-like properties of the matter. So you can say this is the wavelength of matter wave, and hence we can calculate also some of the wavelength here. But this P is dependent on mass and velocity. So lesser the mass we have, the more the wavelength we will get. And this is what happens here. The more the mass we have, the lesser the wavelength we have. So in general, in day-to-day life, we are having a larger mass as compared to some of the subatomic particle. And that's why, for example, I am having 70 kg. So my 70 kg weight will be very, very large as compared to this microscopic behavior. So my mass will give you lambda, but it will be so small that it is not be observable. However, if the mass is very small, for example, electron 10 raised to power minus 31 kg. So mass of electron is very less. It will definitely give you the lambda, which may be observed. And that is happened already by the Davison and German experiment. They have they have satisfied this equation. They have actually observed the diffraction due to electron. Now look, electron is particle. It should have the matter characteristic with it, but electron is showing diffraction. Diffraction because electrons can show the wave nature also. And that was the proof of matter wave, that yes, definitely in this whole universe, every matter contains its wave nature, just like similar to what we have already found in the light. In the light, which light can explain, light is showing the wave nature. Once you are going to explain interference and diffraction, light is showing particle nature or the quantum nature. Once you are going to solve some of the explanation for photoelectric effect, Compton effect, black body radiation, pair production, etc. So this kind of matter waves are very important. Moving further, you can say here also. So some of the explanation was there in your book already. So we can say that this matter wave concept is very, very important for us. Next, I will now going to share the some of the part of the wave wave nature, and then we will now in the next lecture I'll tell about some of the quality or the properties of a wave function.